In this session, we will try to understand the HTML tables. So in this session, I will try to explain how to create HTML tables and what tags are required for creating HTML tables. And also I will try to explain what are the rules present in HTML while designing the HTML tables. So the HTML tables usage is subjected to some restrictions. I will try to explain those restrictions also. Now, first let us try to quickly recall the meaning of a table. So what is a table? In general, a table is a combination of rows and columns. So similar way, the HTML tables also contain set of rows and columns. Okay. Now, let me explain what tags are required for creating a table. So in case if you want to create a table in HTML, there is a tag called as table. So for every opening tag, you must write the closing tag also. So for table opening, there must be table closing tag. So once the HTML code is observed by the browser, or once the table tag is observed by the browser, automatically browser will be creating a table something like this. But in general, every table must be having some rows, or otherwise there is no use of your table. So now the next question here is how to create the rows. Very simple. In order to create the rows in HTML, we are having a tag called as tr. tr means a table row. Table row. You must use a tr tag for creating table rows. Now you observe inside this table how many number of rows I am showing. Obviously I am showing 4 rows. So how many trs are required for us? Obviously 4 trs are required, something like this. Tr, end tr, and again because of space constraint I am showing you the remaining rows here. One more row and one more row, something like this, right? So this is how you will be creating the rows. Now you assume that inside each and every row I need 3 cells. So this is a cell, and this is a cell, and this is a cell, and similar way even this is also a cell, so on and so forth. Each and every row is having 3 cells. Now the question here is how to create the cells. So in order to create the cells, we are having 2 tags. First one is td. td refers to table data, and we are having one more tag called as th. So th refers to table head or table header. So in general you have to use this th tag for giving the column names. You assume that inside this table I wanted to give the first column name as PID, and the second column name as name, and the third column name as age. So how to create the columns? Very simple, we must use a th tag. So in which row we have to use the th tags? Obviously in the first row I need the table column names, and hence inside this first row I should write th. The column name is PID, end of th tag. Similar way one more th, and the name column one more th. Similar way one more th, column name is age, and end of th, right? So something like this. Now my requirement is inside this second row I wanted to give the patient ID as 101 and name as let us say Ravi, and age as let us say 72 years. So now the question is how to insert the data, or how to insert the data into the first row. So very simple. First row in the sense here second row. So from now onwards I will not be considering this row as the row. Why? Because this row is not having the data, but it is having column names. I will call this one as first row, though it is a row, but I will not be considering this one as row. So this row I will be calling it as first row, and this one will be called as second row, third row, so on and so forth. Okay. So in this row, in order to insert 101 into the first cell, we should create the first cell. So how to create? You should use td. 101 end of td tag. Similar way in the second cell I need Ravi. So obviously I should write TD, Ravi and then TD. Right? And similar way, in the third cell we need 72. I should write TD 72 end of TD. Right? So similar way, you can able to write some more data also. Let us say inside this second row I just wanted to give the patient ID as 102, maybe Paul 76. How to do this? Inside this second row TD 102 end of TD, again TD, Paul end of TD, next TD 76 end of TD. So something like this. Even inside this row also, if you want, you can create multiple TDs. So remember one important point, inside this TD you are not only allowed to give plain text. So this is just plain text. So not only the plain text, you are allowed to even write some HTML tags, right? So remember this point. In case if I wanted to create a text box over here inside this cell, I can able to do it. And in case if I wanted to create a drop down list over here, I can do it. So similar way, not only the text boxes and drop down list, you are allowed to write any kind of content into the cells. Either it can be plain text or it can be any HTML controls depending on your requirement. So I believe you understood. This is how you will be creating the tables. Alright, and moreover, even if you want, you can give some ID to the table. Maybe I'll call it as TBL patient, something like this, right? So now let us try to understand a few restrictions related to the HTML tables usage. So let me show you the restrictions. The first restriction is when you are creating a table something like this, inside the table directly you are not allowed to create one more table, which is not possible, right? You cannot be able to write a table directly inside another table. So nested tables are not allowed. Okay, so directly you cannot be able to place a table tag directly inside some other table tag. Similar way, let us assume I am having a table something like this, and inside the table let us say I am having a TR. So for some reason inside this TR I would like to create one more table. So remember, again this is also not possible. So you cannot be able to create the tables inside the TRs, which is against the HTML language rules. Okay, similar way, let us assume that I am having a table something like this and which is having a TR. So one or more TRs, and inside this TR let us say I am having a TH. So inside this TH, let us say this is the closing TH tag. So is it possible to create a table here? Yes, obviously. So you can able to create a table and you can able to create TRs and maybe TDs, and even if required you can able to create TH tags. All what I mean to say here is you can able to create tables inside the TH tag. It is allowed. Similar way, not only inside the TH tag, let us assume that you are having some TD tags, maybe inside some other row. You assume that I am having one more row, maybe inside the same table or maybe inside a different table. Let us assume that inside this TR I am having a TD tag like this. So opening TD tag and then closing TD tag. So inside this TD tag, obviously I am allowed to create a table, right? And inside this table again we are allowed to write TRs or TDs and then even TH tags also, right? All what I mean to say here is we are allowed to create the tables inside the TD, right? So I believe you understood my point. And apart from all these things, there is one more rule. Let me explain the third rule. The next rule is about the total number of cells which are allowed inside the TRs of a given table. You assume that I am having a table something like this and which is having two TRs something like this. Now my requirement is inside this table anyhow we are having two TRs. So inside the first TR I would like to create two TDs. First TD and then second TD. Okay, it is allowed. Now inside the second TR of the same table, I would like to create 3 TDs. First TD, second TD, and then third TD. So clearly this is not allowed. This entire table structure is not allowed. Okay, so remember this point. You cannot be able to create a varying number of cells inside the different rows present in a given table. So it is almost diagrammatically appears something like this. You assume that this is my table which is having 2 TRs. First TR contains only 2 TDs and the second TR contains 3 TDs, which is against the HTML language rules. So I believe you understood. These rules definitely you must remember. Okay. And apart from all these things, you must remember one important point. Many web designers will be using the tables technique for designing the layouts. But anyhow, it is incorrect approach to use tables for designing the layouts, right? But remember, the bad web designers like me will be using the tables for designing the layouts, right? But if the designer, web designer is a good designer, obviously they will be using div tags for creating the layouts, the page layouts. Okay. So anyhow, since I am a .NET developer, so I no need to understand how to design the websites by using div tags. Okay. So I believe you understood. But the point here is you must remember the rules associated with HTML table tags, and you must remember the tags which are required for creating the tables. Okay. So in the next session, I will be explaining about one sample for creating an HTML table.